Hey everyone, my name is Riley, and in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how you can build a makeup and cosmetics Shopify store. This video is perfect for both if you would like to create a dropshipping makeup brand, or alternatively, if you already have makeup products and you already have a brand, and you would just like to create a Shopify store for that. All you need to do is follow along with this tutorial, and you will walk away with a beautiful and professional Shopify store. This video is also timestamped down in the description, so if there are any sections you would like to skip over or any sections you would like to rewatch, you can click on the timestamps in the description, or you can scroll along on the YouTube playbar. Now, to jump right in, the very first thing that we need to do is sign up for a Shopify account if you do not yet have one. I will leave my special Shopify affiliate link in the description of this video. And using this link will allow you to try Shopify for free for 3 days and then get your first month for only $1. Now this says £1 as I am in the UK, but if you are in the US, this will be $1. If you are in Europe, this will be €1. You get the idea. So once we are on this page, all we need to do is go to the email address box right here and enter in the email address that you would like to sign up with. Once that email address is entered, we can click on Start Free Trial. And now Shopify is going to ask us a few questions, but this really doesn't tailor the experience. It really doesn't do anything. So we can just go here and skip all. It's then going to ask us where will the business be located, and it should autofill your country right here. So once again, we can just click on next right here. In this section, it is then going to ask us to create our Shopify account. So in here, this is where we can create our account password to be able to log into Shopify whenever we need to access this. So we can go into this section and create a password, and then we can click on create Shopify account. Shopify is then going to go ahead. We have this loading screen right here, and then we will be taken over to this dashboard. Now, the very first thing that you want to do as soon as we land on this Shopify dashboard right here is we need to go ahead and select a plan. The reason for this is because if we go down to online store right now, without having selected a plan, you can see that the online store is password protected, and to remove this password, we need to pick a plan. So to pick the plan, we can either click on this pop-up in the bottom right corner, or alternatively, if we go back to the home section, we have this option at the top to select a plan. So we just want to go ahead and click into this. And in here, we can now choose between one of these plans. Now, I always recommend everybody who is starting on Shopify just to go with this basic plan right here. The only difference is that with these higher tier plans, the card rate, so the card rate transaction fee on every sale you make slightly goes down. But when you are starting and you're not making thousands and thousands of dollars in revenue, you really don't need to upgrade to one of these premium plans. So we just want to select the basic right here, and then we can choose how we want to pay, whether this is by debit or credit card, or whether we want to go for PayPal. And this does not affect your free trial. So we do select one of these plans, but you still get your 3 days for free. And then we also get this first month for only $1. After that first month, we then go to the regular billing cycle of Shopify, but you can save some extra money by switching to the yearly billing up here. And as you can see, we get a major discount for doing this. So we can select if we want to pay monthly or yearly once this trial ends. And then down here, we can go ahead and fill in our payment information. And once that is filled in, we click right here on subscribe. And just like that, we are now fully signed up to Shopify. Now, don't worry about this at the top. This is just an account that I don't really use anymore. And this is the account that I'm going to be showing you. So the only difference is that you should just not have this at the top, but everything else on the account is going to be the same. So once we are signed up to Shopify, the next thing that we need to do is install the correct theme onto our store, which is the best theme for creating a makeup and beauty website. So to do this, we want to go to online store down this left-hand side. So just click right here into online store, and that should take us over to this area. Once again, you shouldn't really see anything here. You will have a blank theme called Dawn. It should just say Dawn right here, and you should have a blank template. So to choose the theme that we are going to use, we just want to scroll all the way to the bottom, and then you should see popular free templates, and there should be a bunch of free templates right here. The one that we want to use is going to be called Scents, And sometimes you will see cents here, other times you won't. So it really depends. If you do see cents here, then we can click into this. And then we just want to click on try theme. Or alternatively, if you don't see cents here for whatever reason, just click into visit theme store. And then once this loads up, we can click into the free section right here. And then you can see the cents theme. So once again, we would just click into this, click on try theme. And this theme is now going to be loaded in. As you can see, adding cents to your online store themes. Installing that theme is then going to take you back over to this area. But what you will notice is Dawn is still going to be the current theme that we have on the Shopify store. So we need to go ahead and change that. If you scroll down slightly to the theme library, you should see your cents theme is now loading in. And we are just waiting for Shopify to fully add this. So now that it's been fully added, you might have to wait a few seconds here, but just wait until it says just added. And then over here on the right hand side, these publish and customize buttons should now be clickable. So what we want to do is we want to click on publish and then click on publish again. And what this is going to do is it is now going to set the cents theme to the current theme on your Shopify store. Perfect. So we now have that set up. Next, I want to show you a quick overview and a quick explanation into the Shopify editor. So if you just follow me here and we go into the Customize tab, this is now going to load up the Shopify builder. This can look pretty confusing at first, but don't worry, it's actually relatively easy. So this right here that we can see right now is the base template that we are going to be using to build your Shopify store. We will come back to this in a second. If we look at the top, we can see the current page that we are on. So because this is set to homepage, the page that you can see right here on your website is the homepage. But we can go down and we can see all of the other pages that are on our Shopify store. Now, the awesome thing about Shopify is the rest of these pages, so products, collections, all of these right here are pretty much automatically built for us. And all we need to do is make some minor adjustments to these pages at the very end of building our store. So essentially, you can ignore this tab at the top because all we are going to be editing for now and the main editing section is going to be in this homepage. If we look up to the top right corner, you can see we have some different views. So right now I am on the desktop view and this is how my website is going to look on desktop. We can then flick over to the mobile view and we can see how the store is going to look on mobile. And then we can see a full screen view, which is the same as desktop, but it just gets rid of these editing panels so that we can see how this is actually going to look. Now, an awesome thing about Shopify is this mobile section really doesn't need editing by itself. So we can essentially design everything on the desktop and the mobile doesn't really need editing. It's just going to follow exactly what we do on desktop and make your store look beautiful. And then finally, over here on the left-hand side, this is the main control panel of our website builder. So we can see that the website is currently made up of these different sections. So you can see between this line right here and this line right here, this is the announcement bar. And we can see the announcement bar on this left-hand side. This next section between this blue line and this blue line is the header. Then the next section between this blue line and this blue line is image with text. And we essentially build the entire website by choosing different sections to add in and then customizing these sections over on the right hand side. If this still seems a little bit confusing and you don't fully understand what is going on here, then don't worry because I'm going to walk you through step by step, click by click, and show you exactly how we can build this store. But I just wanted to give you an overview into how the editor looks and how the editor works, so this is not completely alien when we come back to this later. However, the very first thing that we need to do before we go in here and we start customizing this homepage is we need to add in the products that we are going to sell on our Shopify store. So if we just go back out and click on this exit button in the top left corner, this is going to take us back over to the Shopify editor. The way that we add products is going to be very different depending on if you already have products made and you are a brand and you just want to create a store to sell on Shopify. The way that we create products is very different to if you are a dropshipping brand and you want to be dropshipping products. So I'm first going to explain how we can add products to Shopify if you already have the products and you are not dropshipping. If you are dropshipping, then use the timestamps in the description to skip along to the next section. So to add products that you already have to Shopify, all we are going to do is go up to products on this left-hand side and click into this. This then takes us over to the products area, and to add the first product to your store, we just click on add product right here. In this section, it's then going to show us all of the information that we need to enter in order to create this product. So the first thing that we can do is we can go in and create a title. And let's say in this example, I want to sell a makeup brush. Of course, if you have a brand, then you might want to add like your brand name, but we just create the title in this section. Next, we can create a description, and we have a few different options for how we create this description. First of all, we can go in and we can just start typing out this description ourselves. However, doing this for each product is going to be long and it's going to be tiring. So we have a second option, which is using the Shopify AI tool to generate text. However, in my opinion, this isn't really the best because we do not get very long descriptions. But to show you how this works, I would go in here and I would just enter in what the product is and what features it has. So we can say makeup brush. We can then choose the tone of voice and then click on generate. Just like this, it's then going to make us a short description. And if we would like to use this, we can click on keep. If you want to generate this again, we can click on generate again. And this is going to regenerate that product description. So once we like this, we click on keep. And just like that, this product description has now been made. As I said though, this is really not the best way of going about things because this description is really limited. So a much better way to do this is by using a free tool called ChatGPT, and I will leave a link to this in the video description. So this is ChatGPT, and once you have created a ChatGPT account, this is the screen that you will be taken to. All we need to do to create an awesome product description is go down to message ChatGPT and say, create me a product description and then what your product is. If you have some exclusive features and benefits, you might go in here and add them. So I might say it's eco-friendly and super silky. Okay. And then all we have to do, once we have told ChatGPT exactly what to do, we just click on enter and look how much better this description is. Now, what we can also do is we can tell ChatGPT to edit this. As an example, because this is AI, it might not get everything perfect. It says right here that it has a bamboo handle. But if, as an example, this didn't have a bamboo handle, then all we would have to do is tell ChatGPT. So I can just say right here, it doesn't have a bamboo handle. We can enter that in. And then ChatGPT is going to recreate this. And right here where it says that it has a bamboo handle, you can see that it got rid of this and replaced it with eco-conscious materials. So once we have the description, all we have to do now is copy this, go back over to Shopify and paste this in. Perfect. We can then go down to this media section, and this is where we want to upload all of the images for this product. Now, there is something very important to note about this media section, and if you do not take this advice, your website will look extremely unprofessional. All of your images need to be the same size, and this is a huge mistake that I always see beginners make when they are creating a Shopify store. Now, what I mean by this is, you see how these two images right here are completely different sizes. This one is horizontal, this one is vertical. Even if they are rotated the same way around, there might be different dimensions. So just to show you this, I will download these two images right here. And these images look the same size, right? But if we actually open them up, you can see that this second image is a lot wider. So it goes from here to here, whereas this image only goes from here to here. So looks can be quite deceiving, and we really need to make sure that your images are the same size. So to make your images the same size, we want to use this tool called Canva. And we will be using Canva a lot in this tutorial, so you want to go to Canva and sign up for an account. Now, another very important thing is that you will need Canva Pro in order to get access to all of the features we will be covering in this tutorial. Usually, this is around about $15 per month, but I will leave a link in the description where you can sign up to Canva and get a 30-day free trial to Canva Pro. So you can get Canva Pro, follow all of the steps in this tutorial, and then go ahead and cancel this before you get charged. So pause the video now and make sure you are signed up to your free Canva Pro account. And then once you have your Canva Pro account, we want to go up to create a design right here. And then from this section, we want to go down to custom size right here. And what we want to set this to is 700 width by 700 height. And then click on create new design. We will then be taken over to this blank Canva document that you can see. And we can use this right here to resize all of the images to the correct size. So all we need to do is go to uploads on this left-hand side, and we can upload all of the images that we would like to use. So I'm going to click in and then grab the 2 images that I just got. And now all we are going to do is drop these images in and resize them so that they fit this design. So we drag right here, and then we drag down. And once we have this created, we just go up to share in this top corner. Then from this section, we go to download, and then we can download this image right here. And just like that, we now have this image downloaded. Then we can go back and grab another image. Once again, we want to resize this to make sure it fully fits in, just like this. And if your image doesn't fully fit in the frame, then what you can do is double click and then slide this along to make sure everything fits in. So we can go for this. And then once again, we would go to share. Then we can go to download right here and download this file. And once we have all of that done, you will see that these images are now the exact same size. So when we put this on our Shopify store, this looks a lot more professional than a lot of images that are just different sizes. And this is really how you avoid the beginner mistake of putting in different image sizes. So once you have all of your images resized, we can now go back to media and click on upload new. And we want to upload the resized images that we just got from Canva. Wait till this uploads, just like this, and we now have our images added. What you will notice is we have one big image at the front. This is going to be your main product image, so we want to make sure that the best image is here. To rearrange the images, all we have to do is click and drag on the image, and then we can drag the selected image to be this first image right here. Next, we can go down and we can choose the price for this item. So how much you want to sell this item for is going to be in the price area. Let's say that I'm going to charge $10.99 for this makeup brush. We can enter this in. And this compare at price right here is if you want to make your products look like they are at a discount or if they are at a discount. So right now, because I don't have this filled in, if I go up to save and then I show you how this product looks right now, I can click on view and get a preview of this. You can see that this just says $10.99. However, if I now go back in and I actually add a compare at price, so let's say this is on discount from $19.99, we click on save. And if I now go and refresh my store, you can see that we have $19.99, the old price that has a strike through. So that is what the compare at price is going to do. Let's just delete this for now. I don't want to add this to this product. And then down here, we have cost per item. Now, your customers will never be able to see this. This is something for you to reference on the back end. And this is going to help you and Shopify determine how much profit you make. So we enter in here how much each product costs us to buy. As an example, let's say each of these makeup brushes costs me $4.99. I enter that in, and now I can see that I make $6 every time I make a sale on one of these makeup brushes. Down here, we can then go into this inventory section, and we have a SKU, and we have a barcode. The SKU is a stock keeping unit, and this essentially allows you to keep track of stock and helps you know how many of each item you have in stock. Now we want to set a specific SKU or SKU for each individual item. So the way that we do this wants to be about 3 or 4 characters. So because this is a makeup brush, I might set the SKU to MB for makeup brush, and then 1 because this is the first makeup brush I am adding to the store. For the barcode, this is a bit more advanced, so I would leave this as a beginner. And then something else that is very important if you are selling your own product is we need to track quantity. This is not very important when we are dropshipping, but as this is your own products that you are creating, we definitely want to have this on. We can then choose if we would like to continue to sell when out of stock. So this is a bit of a risky move if you want to do this. I don't recommend this. And if something does go out of stock, it would just show up on your website as out of stock. Now you will notice it says to update your quantity, save your changes. So we can go up and click on save right here to save these changes. And in here, we can now set the quantity. So we can go in and choose how many are unavailable in terms of like damaged, quality control, stock safety. This right here is going to show you how many are in your current order book. So we can't change this. This just shows how many orders we have. But what we are going to change is available. So let's say as an example, we have 100 makeup brushes that we could sell. We go in and set this to 100. Click on save. And just like that, we now have 100 available. So at any time, let's say that you continue to sell this item. Of course, this is going to go down every time somebody buys one. So I have 100 available right now, but if somebody buys one, then it's going to be 1 committed and 99 available. But then let's say you buy a new batch of makeup brushes. Well, all you have to do is come back into this menu right here, go to the available section, and you see adjust by. So this number would be automatically set. Let's say we sold 20 and we now have 80 available, but we just bought 50 more. So we would come in and we would adjust this by 50. And as you can see, the new number is going to be 130 because we already had 80 available. We just bought 50 more that we can now sell. So we put that in there. We can then go down. And of course, if this is makeup, this is going to be a physical product. So we make sure this is checked. And then we just want to add the product weight in. So we can choose this by pounds, ounces, kilograms, or grams. We enter in the weight right here. And then don't worry about the rest of the shipping. We will set up all of these shipping options later on. We just need to make sure this has the correct weight. Finally, we just want to go down to the variant section. And this is where you can choose if the product has different variants, for example, size, color, anything like that. So in this example, we can add options right here. And it's automatically going to connect these because it basically uses AI and realizes this is a makeup brush. So we can go down and choose one of these if the option is there. Or alternatively, we create a custom option and we can enter this in. So the option name I'm going to say is going to be color. And then for the values, we are going to go for black. And we are going to go for pink. And then once all of the options have been added in, we could add more right here. We just click on done. And we now have these 2 variants. We can also go down and add a specific variant image. So I would upload an image of the black variant right here and the pink variant right here. And we can now choose a price for both of these. Now, something very important here is because we already set up the inventory right here, you can see that we have 100 available for one and 0 available for the other. So we need to make sure that we come in here and in this section, we go in and choose how many we have available for each variant. So let's say 40 and 40, and then we can click on save. And just like that, we now have this product created. So we now have everything that we need to add it in for this product. So we can now back out and we now have this first product added. Then we would go back up to add product in this top right corner, and we would go through and add all of the products that we need to add to the store using this method. Now, as you are adding your own products into this store, then I recommend skipping the dropshipping section and heading to the section after called collections. This is another very important section that we need to set up for your store. Now, if you are watching this section of the video, then I assume that your goal with this store is going to be to dropship. Now, one very fatal mistake that a lot of beginners make with any kind of dropshipping is they choose to dropship from a website like AliExpress, where they have extremely long waiting times. So if I just open up a new tab and we go over here to AliExpress, I recommend with whatever supplier you are using, but as I say, most people are using AliExpress. You want to check how long these shipping times are. So if I go up and I just look for a lip gloss over here on AliExpress, all of these products look awesome. But what is not awesome about any of them is the horrendous shipping times that you get with each of these. So today's date is the 6th of September, and this product aims to be delivered on the 26th. That's 20 days waiting time. If I go back out and I just choose the next product along here, we can see September 30th. Now, the reason that this is such a bad thing, and this is the reason that so many dropshippers fail at dropshipping, is because people expect things to be delivered extremely quickly. They don't expect to wait 20 to 25 days in order to get their product. So what this means is that if people are waiting too long for a product, they will either think it's a scam or just get fed up of waiting, and they will usually issue a chargeback for that product. And that is not what you want, especially when dropshipping from one of these suppliers. Because if somebody does ask for a refund or they ask for their money back, if you're dropshipping from one of these random suppliers from China, you aren't getting your money back. There is no way this supplier is going to refund you. So you not only have to give the refund to the customer, but you also lose the money that you spent on the original product. Now, there is a way to get out of this. And as far as I'm aware, there is only one dropshipping supplier that solves this issue. The supplier is called Zendrop, and they solve the issue that we have with dropshipping in a few different ways. If you would like to sign up with Zendrop, I will leave my affiliate link down in the description. And with that link, as you can see, you get a special offer from me. And this, first of all, allows you to start with a 7-day free trial. On top of this, not only do you get a 7-day free trial, you also get 50% off for 3 months, plus $200 in order credits. So what order credits are, is if somebody purchases an order, you are able to essentially fulfill that order for free. Zendrop give you $200 in order to buy products to send to your customers. Zendrop will also automatically fulfill your orders for you. I will get into what this means, as well as getting free live weekly coaching for dropshipping and a full e-com course. Now, the reason that Zendrop solves the issues that I spoke about earlier is because they actually control the supply chain. So what this means, first of all, is that we get much faster shipping times. If we go up here and we search for lip gloss, all of these shipping times on Zendrop are going to be between 3 to 11 days. So having a shipping time of 11 days, this is a time that is a lot more tolerable for people rather than waiting between 20 and 30 days. So that is the first issue that it solves, and we can see the shipping time right here. The second issue that Zendrop solves is because they control their supply chain, they will give you a refund on any items that your customers refund. We can see in the refund section, for shipped orders, Zendrop will issue a refund if you have also issued a refund to your customer. There is proof of refund and it is within 30 days of the order being delivered. So with any of these products, if the customer cancels whilst it's being delivered, if the customer cancels anytime within 30 days after it has been delivered, then Zendrop will also give you a refund, and it really takes away a lot of risk when it comes to dropshipping. The final benefit to Zendrop is it makes it so much easier to add products to your store, because you don't have to worry about setting up shipping. You don't have to worry about going through and filling in all of this information yourself and creating the images, messing around with the variants and the shipping weight, because Zendrop handle this all for you. Now, once you have signed up to your Zendrop account, the first thing that you need to do is connect this to your Shopify store. So all we do is we click on this button in the top right corner. It should say connect your store or something like this. We just click through. It's then going to take us over to Shopify, where we can install the Zendrop app, confirm the installation, and that is how easy it is to connect Zendrop to Shopify. Then what we next need to do, once you have your store connected, is we want to come down here to find products and search for the products that you would like to sell on your store. So we would go in and we can go to search products at the top. And let's say that I want to dropship some lip gloss. This is what I want to sell on my store. From here, we can then see all of the products that we can sell. So let's say I want to sell this product. We just click in. So we can see the product right here. And then all we have to do is click on add to my products. and this is going to be added to the My Products tab, and then we can push them to the store in just a few clicks, but we will do that later. We first of all want to find all of the products that we will add to the store. So I'm going to go back to find products, and once again, we can search for lip gloss. And I also want to, let's go for this product right here. Really with these, I'm looking for products that have really nice product images. So this one definitely does. We can then go down. This one is awesome. This one is fantastic. So we just want to go down and add all of the products that we want to dropship into the store. So we now have the lip gloss. Then I'm going to go back up and let's try some moisturizer. So I am just going to do the same right here with moisturizer. I searched for moisturizer. And then once again, let's just go ahead and add all of the ones that I would like to sell on my Shopify store. This is a little bit expensive, wow. But I'm going to add this for sure. I'm going to add this. So you can just search and add all of these products into the My Products section. Once you have a selection of products added to your store, and don't worry about getting every single product that you might want to sell, we can come in here and we can add more products at any time. So I have all the products that I would like to add. And if we now go over to the My Products section, you can see all of these products are going to be listed here. So what we need to do is we just want to go to the first product right here, and we can now review all of these products and publish them to our Shopify store. So with this example, we just click on review and publish. And then the first thing that we can do is we can choose the product name. Now this brand is called Anise. So I'm going to go in and we can call this Anise Compact Powder Foundation. Then once that is added, we can come over here to the description. And this description is already pretty good. So I wouldn't change this. This is perfect. If the description is good like this, then we can just leave this. We can then check out the variants. So we have a few different colors right here. And the most important thing is going to be the sales price. I don't think anybody wants to pay $120 for foundation. So in here, we can go over and we can see the product cost plus the shipping. So all we need to do is make a price that is higher than the product and the shipping and make sure that we are making a healthy profit. So for this, we could maybe price this at $49.99. And then each one of these we sell, we are going to be making $11.20. So I'm just going to go down and set the same price to all of these right here. And then for the images, we can go over. If there's any we would like to deselect, we can. But I'm just going to leave all of these and click on publish to my store. Now look at this. This is now published. So what I can do is if I now go back over to my store and we go into the product section on this left-hand side, I now have this product that I pushed to my store. So we can click in, we can see we have the title, we have the description, we have all of the images right here. We have all of the variants already laid out. And there is only one thing that we really need to change here, and that is going to be these images. The reason for this is because each of these images is going to have a background, whether it be white, pink, black, whatever color the background is. We want to make sure that we remove this. So what we need to do is click into each of these images, and we want to go ahead and take a screenshot. So we just make sure that this is the right size, and then we can take a screenshot of the image. And then we want to go ahead and do the exact same for all the rest of the products that we see right here. Once you have taken a screenshot of all of the images in this media section, the tool that we will be using to remove the background is a tool called Canva. This is Canva right here, and we will be using Canva a lot throughout this tutorial. So you want to make sure that you go ahead and sign up for an account. Now, with everything that we need to do in Canva, you want to have a Canva Pro account. Usually this is around $15 per month or something like this, but I will leave a link in the description where you can sign up to Canva and get a 30-day free trial of the Pro version. So you can sign up to Canva, you can follow this tutorial and use Canva, and then you can cancel your Pro subscription before you are charged. So you can pause the video now and go ahead and sign up to Canva. And then once you have signed up, we want to go to create a design in this top right corner. And then we want to go down to custom size right here and set this to 700 by 700. and then we can click on create new design. From here, we then have a blank Canva document right here, and this is what we are going to use to remove the background image. So we just go to uploads on this left-hand side, and we can upload all of the files that we just screenshotted. So we upload them right here, and then all we have to do is select the file, resize this to make sure it is the full width of this image. So they are all the same size. And then we just click, go up to edit image in this top left corner, and then click on remove background. Just like that, the background is now going to be removed. So we go up and click on share and then download this. Very important, we need to download this with a transparent background, which is one of the reasons that we need Canva Pro. And then we can click on download. Just like that, we now have this image downloaded without the background. So we would just go ahead and repeat this for all of these other variants. Once we have all of those product images created and we have the background removed, we can come in here, and the first thing that we want to do is delete all of the current media that is in here because we don't want these backgrounds. So we click on remove, and then we can upload the new images that we just created. So we just select all of these and select the other two. And just like that, we now have our full product images created. We can then go down, and with this one specifically, we have these different variants. So specifically with products that have variants, we need to go down here and now select the correct product image for each of these variants. So we would click in and then choose the light ivory one. And to make sure that we select the right one, we can check over here on Zendrop. So we can see the darkest one is natural deep beige. So let's set that first. Natural deep beige is this darkest one. Then we can look over and we can use this to set the rest of the product images. Once we have all of this set up, we just go to save at the top and we can preview this to see how the product page is going to look. So this is the current product page right here. We can choose between all of these different options. And as you can see, the product image is going to show up for each of these different variants. Perfect. All we now have to do is go back over to my products and do the same thing with each of these different options. So with this moisturizing foundation, we can review and publish. And this brand is called Concealer Sticks. So we can enter that in right there. Once again, this description is good. We have the variants, so we can set the price. Let's price this at $19.99 for each of these. And then the product images, all of these look good, so I'm happy to use these once again. And then we publish this to the store. And then we would just go back to the store right here, find the new product, and repeat the process in removing the background. Now, this is just for individual product images. So if they have an actual background like this, or like this, then these are absolutely fine to leave. It is just the product image where it has like a plain white background. So this I would remove, this I would remove, this I would remove. And let's take a look at the other three. This I would remove, this I would actually delete this image right here. And then this once again, I would remove the background of. So what I am now going to do is add the rest of the products to the store, clean up these images, and in the next section, we will talk about creating collections. One more thing that I do need to mention is right here, you see the first image, this bigger image. This is the main product image that you will be showing on your store. So for this main product image, we always want to make sure that this just shows the product and that this does not have a background. That is why this is so important. So I now have a few different products added to my store right here. And once you have some products in your store, the next thing that we are going to do is create collections around these products. To do this, we once again want to go to the products tab right here. And just beneath products, you should see collections. So we can click into this, and this is going to take us over to the Shopify collections area. So to create a collection, we go in here and click on create collection. And the first thing that we are going to do is create 4 different collections. The 4 collections that we will be creating first of all will be face, eyes, lips, and nails. The first collection is going to be called face. So we enter the title of face in right here. And then we want to come back over to ChatGPT. Now, if you skipped the section where I first mentioned ChatGPT, ChatGPT is a free AI tool, and I will leave a link to this in the description. So on ChatGPT, we just come in here and say, create me a short description for my face makeup collection on my e-commerce store. And as soon as we click enter, as you can see, we have this beautiful description written for us. So we are just going to copy this, then go back over to Shopify and paste this in. And then for the collection type, this is where we can choose to add in the different products that we want to add to face. So for face, we would have things like moisturizers, foundations, things that go on people's face. So for the collection type, we want to set this from manual to automated. And it's then going to ask, what condition must the item have, the product, to be put into this face category? So down here, we want to leave this as tag, and we want to say tag is equal to face. In here, we just type face, and that is now set. So all we now have to do is click on save down here, and that collection has now been created. So all we now have to do is add the products that we want to add to this collection. We need to give them the tag of face, and that collection is now created. Before we go and add products to this, we want to create the other collections that we will be adding here. So we have face. The next one that we want to create is going to be lips. So we go up here and title this lips. And then once again, we can go to ChatGPT. And what I like to do is just copy this and change face to lips. And then once again, it's going to give us a beautiful description that we can copy and paste. And then drop this over here on Shopify. And then once we have the title and description, once again, we are going to do the exact same thing with the collection type. Switch this to automated and say the tag is equal to, this time we will put lips, and then save this. So now we just create the other two collections, which are nails. We can ask ChatGPT to do this once again. So we can copy and paste this. Drop this in, go down to here, automated, tag contains nails, and save. And then finally, the final section that we are going to add is going to be eyes. So we go to create collection, title this one eyes, automated, eyes, and then ChatGPT, create me a description for my eyes makeup collection. Perfect, right? So we just paste that in, save, and done. So now what we are going to do is we now want to add the products that we have added to the store into the collection that they need to be in. So to do this, we just go to products, and I can see right here 4-in-1 retractable mini makeup brush set. So this would be in face. I just click into the product, and then down here, we can see tags on this right hand side. So all I have to do is click in, and then we are going to tag this as face. So we type in face, add face, and save. And now this has been tagged with face. If I go back to my collections, and for some reason this hasn't updated, let me just refresh. And just like that, we now have one product in face. So we can go back to products right here. We then have mascara. So this is of course going to be eyes. So we just click in, and in the tag, we can type in eyes and add this. Then we click on save. So from here, we would just go through and repeat the process. We add eyes, just like this, and save. And then we just do this for each of these products. Now, once we have finished adding all of the tags into these products, we can go back over to collections, and these collections are now going to be filled. You might have to give it a few seconds, as for some reason, it usually takes a few seconds for them all to register. You should see the numbers start to change as I refresh. So just make sure that you wait until all of your products are across and we have everything in here. Now for the images with each of these collections, if we click in, you can see that we can add an image here. And we do need to do this. However, you don't know the color of the image you need to create or the font that we are going to be using in this image. The reason that we don't know that yet is because we haven't started creating the website. So we will come back and add the images later to make these congruent with the rest of the website. But once we have these main 4 collections, we now want to go ahead and create sub-collections. So the sub-collections are going to be things like mascara, foundation, lip gloss, concealer, all of the different makeup products we are going to create as sub-collections. In terms of actually setting this up, there is no difference in creating the sub-collections to creating these main collections. So once again, we will just go to create collection, and this time we want to be creating things like moisturizer. Then we go down and set this to automated, tag is equal to moisturizer, and then once again, we will go to ChatGPT and ask it to create us a moisturizer section. Once we have this, we just go and save. And then just as we did before, once we have created all of these different subcategories for the types of products you will be creating on your website, we just want to click back in, for example, with this moisturizer, and then set the tag to moisturizer. So just like that, I now have my collections and sub-collections created. And now you have your products and collections created, we can now go through and actually start customizing and editing your front end store. To do this, we are just going to go to online store right here on the left-hand side of the screen. And once this loads up, we have the Sense theme that we added earlier. So we just want to go in and customize this. So the very first thing that we need to do as soon as you land on this screen is we want to add a new section. So go to this left-hand side and underneath this template right here, very important that we don't do this in the header or the footer. So the template section right here, we want to click on add section. Then the section that we are going to choose is going to be a slideshow. So we click on slideshow right here, and that slideshow is now going to be added in. Then what we are now going to do is delete these other 2 sections. So go to the featured collection right here, and we are going to delete this. And then also this image with text at the top, we want to delete this as well. Because this right here, this slideshow, the banner that we are about to create, we want to show this at the top of the website. So once we have made those changes, we can go up and click on save in this top right corner. And the next thing that we are going to do is we want to head back over to Canva. So in Canva, let's click on this button and go back to the home page right here. And once we are back on the main page of Canva, we can go up to create a design and then custom size here at the bottom. And we want to set this to 2000 width by 600 height. And then click on create new design. This is then going to take us into this area. And this is a blank banner that we are going to create and then put into this section. Now, the awesome thing about Canva is we don't have to come over here to elements and start adding in different elements and creating this ourselves. You can if you would like to, and you really want to fully design the store yourself. However, there are much easier ways to do this. The way that I recommend is going up to design on this left-hand side. And then in search templates right here, we can search for a few different things to see really what you like the look of. So as an example, we could search for makeup. And these are some of the makeup templates that we can use and then go in and edit. So we can search for makeup and see if we like any of these. We could go up and maybe search for beauty instead. And that is going to bring up these. But I really like the look of this template for the search term makeup. And it's going to be this template right here. So choose the template that you would like to use. And then we can drop this in. And once you have that selected, all we now need to do is choose the color and change this text. So I'm going to change this text in the center. And I'm going to make this say new arrivals. Just like this. And then underneath, we are about to go into fall. So in here, I'm going to say, shop our fall collections. Just like this. What we can then do is we can grab this, and we might want to make this a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to drag this out and make this bigger, just like this. And then underneath on Shopify, they have a button that says shop now. And this will take people to our shop. So just to show you this button label, we are going to make this say shop now. This big white box behind we will get rid of, but we want to leave space for that button. We can then go to the text and we can choose the font that we would like to use. So we just double click to highlight this text. And then one of my favorite fonts for a makeup brand is going to be Brittany right here. So we can just make this a little bit smaller now, just like that. And then this font underneath is not terrible, but once again, we can make a nice change here from the current font into a font called Now. So we can make that change right there. And already this looks super professional, right? The last thing that we want to do is we want to choose the main color that we will be using on Shopify. Right now, with the default theme template, we have kind of like this green color, but we are going to change this so that you can make your store your chosen color. We need to make this banner the same color so that the store is congruent. So to change the color, we can click in and then go to edit image and remove the background of this image because that color is kind of built in to this image. Then what we need to do, and I don't know why Canva is built like this, but we can't just go in and click and change the background because it's not going to let us. It's going to remove this image. So instead, what we need to do is duplicate this current slide. So we have both of these. And on the bottom one, delete the text that we just created. And then what we are now going to do is just save this image right here with no background. So we go up to share and then click on download. And we only want to download the second page. So we go here, deselect page 1. So we only have page 2. And we want to download this with a transparent background. So then we just click on download. And this image is now going to download with that transparent background. So all we now have to do is we can delete this second image right here. We don't need this anymore. But then we just click in and delete this main background. When this is blank, we can now choose the color for this. So I want to choose this color right here. This is going to be the main color for my store. And then all we now need to do is upload that original image. So we have this saved on the computer. We can just grab this, drop this in, and then resize this so that it's just like this. Perfect. So that is how we can create the banner. Then all we need to do is go up and click on share and save the banner that we have just created. This time we definitely don't want the transparent background, so make sure this is off, and then we can click on download. We now have this banner saved to the computer, so we can go back over to Shopify, and then all we now need to do is click on this section in the middle. So click into this right here where it says image slide, and it's going to open up this main control panel on the right hand side of your screen. So all we now need to do is click on select image right here and then upload the file that we just saved, the banner. So it's this banner right here. We can drop this in. And then once this has finished fully uploading, just like that, we can now click on done. And this banner is now going to be added in. Now you will notice that some of this is cut off, but don't worry because as soon as we extend this to full screen, we can see the full banner. So this is what people will actually see on your website. But let's go back to the desktop editor. And we now need to get rid of this big white square in the middle. So we just go to the heading section right here where it says image slide and we delete this. Then we go to the subheading, we scroll down and we delete this. And then the final thing that we are going to do is right here where it says show container on desktop, we just click to delete this. Now, if we go to the mobile view and see how this is going to look, you will notice that there is a big difference and the vast majority of this banner is going to be cut off. That's obviously not very good, right? So what we actually need to do is we need to create a separate banner for the desktop, just as we can see right here. This looks fantastic. And create a separate banner for the mobile. So the way that we do this is we once again want to go back to Canva and we just need to make this smaller. So we grab the banner and we just drag this in. And this might take a few attempts to actually get right in terms of the sizing, but we can shrink this down and let's see how this is going to do. So we can just drag this right here We drag this right here, maybe up a little bit, and just like that. And then we can drag all of this and just make sure this is in the center. And let's give this a try. Let's see if this is going to work. So once again, we can download this and then go back to Shopify. And this next step might not make sense for now, but this will make sense. And this is how we make the store look good. We now want to go down and add a second section. So we have the main slideshow. We want to go add section and add a second slideshow right here. So we now have two slideshows on the store. This second one is where we want to upload the new image. So we just click in, select image, and we want to drop in the new mobile banner that we just created. So that has now been dropped in, and then we can click on done. Okay, so this is still definitely not perfect. So we can just go over and we want to make this smaller and just play around with this and keep trying until we have something that actually looks good on mobile. So I just resized this and made this smaller. We go back over and click on change and select from library. And in here, we just drop that image back in, the new one that we created. And after a few attempts, I managed to get this, which is a lot better, right? So we now have this on mobile. And if we go to desktop, we have the main banner image. However, we don't want this scenario that we have right now, where we have the mobile showing on desktop and the desktop also showing on mobile. So to fix this, it's actually very easy. All we need to do is paste in some code, and that can sound very scary, but it's literally a click of a button, and I will show you how to do this. You don't need to know how to code. I will leave the code in the description of this video. So all you need to do is go to the description, and the first one that you need to copy is the one that is titled heading. Once you have the heading code copied, go to the first banner that we have here, the one that we want to show on the desktop, and click into this. Then it might take you over to the slide. So if it does, make sure that we have the slideshow, the actual slideshow selected, rather than one of these slides. Then all we need to do is right here where it says custom CSS, open this up, and then we just go down and copy that code in. Now look at this. Because we have this code copied, if I now go over to mobile, the banner right here that we had before is now going to disappear. And we just have the mobile section. Perfect. After that, you can then go down and copy the code that is titled mobile. And then all we are going to do is click on the section that we want to show on mobile. And in here, we once again flick this to the slideshow, go to custom CSS here at the bottom, and paste in that code. And this is now going to disappear from the desktop. So on the desktop, we have the desktop banner. And then on mobile, we have the mobile banner. Once we are on the mobile banner, we can just click in. So I'm on mobile view. We've clicked into this banner. And then once again, we will go to the heading right here and delete this. We will then go to the subheading and delete this. And then for the button label, we can click into this and we just change this to say shop now. So we now have that set up. We can go back to the desktop. And then for the button label right here, we will once again click in and change the button label to say shop now. Then what we can do is, depending on the banner that you have created and where the text is, we can change the position of this button. So to do this, we will just go over to the right-hand side control panel once again. And right here we see desktop content position. Right now it is in middle center, but I want it to be in this bottom left, right, or maybe even in the middle. So we will just go over and let's try bottom center first. That looks okay, but maybe bottom left might be better. Perfect. That is exactly where I want this. So this looks fantastic now. So let's save the progress that we have made so far. And then if we view this in full screen, this is how that banner is now going to look. The next thing that we can do is we want to change the background of the website so that it fits with the banner that we just created. Right now, this doesn't look very good at all because we have this green clashing with whatever color you have set your banner to. So to make these changes, all we are going to do is click on theme settings on this left-hand side. And then right here, we can see colors. So we just click into this and we can see all of these color schemes. Now we are going to create our own color scheme for this. So we just click on add scheme right here, and then we need to choose the background color. Now you can set a gradient if you want to. If you do this well, it can look fantastic. Like this gradient is done very well, but it's very hard to actually set up and make look good. So I would just recommend sticking to a background. Now to get the exact color that we created in the banner, we can go over to Canva right here. And if we click into the background, in this top left corner, we can see the background color. And then if we click into this and click on the color that we have highlighted, this will tell us the exact code for the color that is set here. So we just copy this, go back to Shopify, and then in this background section right here, we just click in, delete what is currently there, and then paste in the main color that we have. And just like that, this is now going to be set as the background. You will notice that none of the website sections have changed. That is normal, and I will show you how to actually take the color scheme that we are creating and apply this to your website. It's very easy. Then we want to go to the background gradient right here, and essentially the gradient always takes priority over the background. So if we have a gradient set, it's going to use the gradient. So we need to turn this off. So we click into the gradient right here, and then if we scroll down, we can see remove gradient. So click on this, and then that gradient is now going to be removed. Then for the text on the website, you will either want to set this to white or black. So if you want to set this to white, we can just drag this up to the top. If you want to set this to black, we drag this all the way down. And essentially the way you decide this is depending on the color of your website. If you have a dark blue website, then you probably want to use white. If you have a light pink website, then of course we will use black. It just depends on what shows up the best. So I'm going to set my text color to black. Then we have solid button background. So this is going to be for buttons like this. What color do we want these to be? So from this color, I maybe want to change this to a little bit of a lighter pink. We can just go in and play around with this and set this to the right shade. And then the solid button label is going to be the text color that shows up on this. So the white on pink looks pretty good, so I'm going to leave this as it is. Then for outline button, if you have a dark website, set this to white. If you have a light website, keep this as black. And then for the shadow, we want to keep this as black. So that is going to be the first color scheme. And this is going to be the bulk of the website. However, we might want to have the header right here and the footer as a different color. And I will show you this on a demo store that I created earlier. So this is just a demo store that I created where we can see this is the main color of the website, this light pink, but the header and also the footer are going to be this darker pink. So I think this looks best. This is what I would recommend doing. So to do this, we just want to go in and then go back to colors and set up a different color scheme. So now we can add a scheme. So we just go in and set this up with the color that we would like for the header and the footer. And now we have set both of these color schemes up, we can now add them to the website. To do this, we just click into the section of the color that you would like to change. So we have the header section right here. And then over on the right hand side, we can choose the color scheme that we would like to use. So for my header, I'm going to change this to color scheme 7. And then we can go for this color scheme 7 as well. And we now have that set up right there. So we can go to the next section right here. And then once again, we will just go down to the color scheme. And we are going to set this time to color scheme 6. Then we will go down to the footer, click into this, and let's make this color scheme 7. And then the same for this bottom section, color scheme 7. Now, this is already starting to take shape, but you will notice that between these, we have these little lines of kind of like white or green, or whatever the main website color was. You will also notice this announcement bar at the top. So I forgot to mention that we always want to delete the announcement bar. And then to get rid of these white lines in between, we just go to theme settings right here, and we can back out of colors. And then we want to go to the layout section. Then under layout, you can see space between template sections. this is 36. But if we shrink this down to 0, those spaces are going to be gone, like this one at the bottom here does. If any remain, like you see this at the top, that just means the section has padding. So if you see anything, just check the section above and the section below, and we should see that one of these has some padding. So if I go in right here, we can see this header section has padding. So we can just remove the bottom padding and remove the bottom margin. Perfect. Maybe we can add the padding back, as that just added some buffer there. And we now have this all set up. We then, of course, want to flick across to mobile because we didn't change the color scheme here. So let's click into this. Then we want to go down to the color scheme, click on change, and then this is scheme 6. Perfect. Now that we have that, all that is left to do is just add and customize a few more sections. The next section that we are going to add is going to be a collection section. So we just go to template once again, and we can add a section here. And then this is going to be a collection list. So we click into a collection list. And just like that, this is now going to drop in. So we click into this, and then we can make all of these changes on this right-hand side. The first of which is going to be going to the color scheme and changing this to scheme 6. And this is where we are going to add in the main collections of face, eyes, nails, and lips that we created earlier. So we just want to go here to number of columns on desktop and change this to 4. And that is now going to add in 4 columns. But then we just want to go here, and you see right now we have 3 collections. We just add one more, and that's now going to pop up. So in here, we now want to go to the collection, this first collection, and then click on select collection on this right-hand side. And then we can add in these in any order you really like. So let's add eyes first of all, then click on select. Very important that we click select, because if we don't, it's going to delete this. So we go this, select, go along. Then we can go to face, select. Then we go here and we can say lips, select. And then finally, we go nails and select. Right now, this looks okay, but this is just going to show us products. And we want to really make this look professional by having some different images in here. And now that we know the color and font that we are using on the website, this is now where we can go in and we can add these collection images. We are going to create these once again on Canva. So let's go back to Canva, and then we can go to this button in the top corner and go to home. And then from this home area, we can go to create a design in this top right corner. And this time we are going to select logo. So we open this up, and once again, we have a blank Canva document. In here, we want to add images in that are copyright free. So we get these directly from Canva. All we have to do is go to elements, and for the lips section in this example, I just go to elements and search for lips. Then I can slide this across to photos, and in here I can now choose the photo that I would like to use on my store. So I'm going to use this image right here. We can drop this in, and then we can resize this. I think this image isn't the right size. Okay, so I wouldn't use this. So let's try a different one. Okay, this one would be a lot better. So we can drop this in, and we now have the base image. However, we want this to align with the rest of the website, and our website doesn't have this orange color. So let's click into this, and then we can go edit image and remove the background right here. And that's going to take the background away. So now all we are going to do is just click this image and slide it over slightly, not all of the way, just slide it over slightly. Then we can click on the background right here and set this to the secondary color of the website. We want this to stand out and be the secondary color, not the main color that we are using. So once again, if you need to find the color, we can go to theme settings, into colors, and your secondary color scheme. And then we can see the code right here. So we can just paste this, then pop straight back over to Canva, go to background color, and then we just paste this in. So then we drag this back across, just like that. And this now looks a lot better already. but we still need to add some text here in the center. So if I go back to my Shopify store, we can use any of these two text options from this banner, and this is still going to make the website look congruent. So I want to go with this top one right here. Let's go back to Canva and then add in some text. Grab a heading right here, and then I'm going to say lips, just like that. Now I can then highlight the text and choose the same font that we used in the header, which is this font right here called Brittany. So now that is selected. However, we don't really want to be using a black color here. So let's once again click this, and then we can go up to the text color, and I'm going to change the text color to white. So that looks a little bit better, especially if we make this bigger and we put this in the middle, just like this. Maybe a little bit smaller actually, like so. However, this is still a little bit hard to read. So we want kind of a darker overlay on this to make this lips easier to read. So let's go to elements on this left-hand side. And all we are going to do is grab a square. So we can grab a square. Just make sure you go from photos to graphics. We can grab a square right here. So we want to make sure that this is all black. And then all we do is spread this across the entire design. So once that is spread across the design, we go up to position, and we want to send this back once so that the text is on top of this overlay. Then all we need to do is go to transparency right here and drag this down to around about 25 to 20. Anywhere in this range is going to be good. I think 20 looks perfect right here, so I'm going to leave it. And we now have this section for lips. So we have lips. Let's duplicate this page. And the next one that we are going to create is face. So I'm just going to highlight this text and change this to say face. Then we want to click to highlight the overlay, and we can move this over. Once again, we want to move this over so that we can still kind of see this at the side, but we can still access this element. Then we can delete this and choose a new element that we will use for the face. So if I search face, I don't think I will get, oh, okay, some of these are actually pretty good. I was expecting to maybe have to try makeup. That might even be a better search term, but we could really use any of these. So let's actually go back. Face looks pretty good. We could try this right here. So let's drop this in, and then once again, edit the image and remove the background. And now we just extend this to make this take up the full size, just like that. And then all we are now going to do is grab the overlay at the side if we can. Sometimes you will run into this issue where you can't quite grab it. So if this is the case, we can just move the image over here, drag the overlay back, and then grab the image again and bring this in. Then I think this face is on top of the overlay. So let's click on the image and push this back, and perfect. We now have face created. Then we want to do the same for next is going to be nails. So we can type in nails, click, drag, delete. In here, we can now search for nails. And which one? I kind of want somebody holding a bottle of nail polish. That would be ideal. Perfect. We got there in the end. So we can grab this and just drop this in. So for some reason, that landed in the wrong one. Let's just drag this down and then resize this to where we actually want to see this. Maybe like this. Perfect. Then we click in, edit image, and we can remove the background. And then this is on top. So we go to position and we can push this back twice. Then just grab the overlay and bring this across. Then we will do the final one, which is going to be, so we have lips, face, nails, and this final one is going to be eyes. So we just click, drag this across, delete, and we can search for like eyes or even eye. Let's try eye makeup. So we can maybe go for which one would be best here. Maybe this. This looks pretty good. Okay. And drag, make sure this is in the center and we have the face where we want it to be. And then once again, we will just go in here, remove the background, and then push this to the back, drag this across, and awesome. We now have all of the cover images that we need for all of these collections. So now we can go up to share and we can download all of these at once. Just make sure they don't have a transparent background. And then we just go down here and click on download. And that is going to download all 4 of the images that we just created. All we now have to do is go back over to Shopify. Let's save all the changes that we have made so far and then back out to the main menu. Then from here, we are just going to click into products on this left-hand side. Then we can click into collections. And we now want to go in. So these subcategories, it really doesn't matter about adding an image right now. We just want to focus on these. So we go to face, add image, and then we can see the 4 items right here in a folder. We can drop in face, and then we can save this. Then we can back out once this is fully saved. Go into the next option, which is nails. Add image, grab the nails option, and save. Then once again, we will back out, go this time to eyes, add image, drop eyes in, and save. And then the final option that we are going to have is back out, lips, drop this in, and perfect. And this is going to make a huge difference to the store, okay? So what is going to happen now is, watch this. If I go back to my online store, and then we go back to the Sense theme. If I now go down, this looks better already. However, we do want to remove this at the bottom where it says nails, lips, face. People already know what this is from these images that we have uploaded. However, Shopify don't just let you do this on the right-hand side. So this is once again something that we have to go down to custom CSS. So once again, make sure collections is selected. Then from here, we can scroll down to custom CSS, and you want to paste in the code that is in the description that is titled remove collections name. We paste that in, and as you can see, that is now going to disappear. Another thing that I like to do, I think it just makes the design look cleaner, is scrolling up and going to the image ratio and setting this from square to portrait. And the final thing that you might want to do in this section is right here where it says collections. You can maybe change this to our collections. We can just leave this as collections. It is completely up to you. You can also change the heading size right here, but I think this looks absolutely fine at medium, and I see no reason to change this. The next section that we are going to add to the website is going to be an About Us section. So once again, we can click Add Section, and this time we want to add another slideshow. So we can drop the slideshow in, and that slideshow is now going to be added. Now we are once again going to create this in Canva, but don't worry with this slideshow right here. This is very different to the top slideshow where we had to create a different one for the mobile. Don't worry about this one. We just create one, and the size is going to be fit for mobile as well. If I show you with the store that I created earlier, we have the About Us section right here on the main store. And then if I flick over to mobile, we can see the About Us section in this area as well. So to actually create the About Us section to add in here, we want to go over to Canva and then click on Create Design. And for the custom size that we are going to set this to, we are going to set this to 4320 by 2160. And then click on Create New Design. In here, we can once again use the templates that Canva has on offer. So let's go up to Search Templates, and let's once again search for makeup and see what is going to come up. So with any of these, you can once again select it, and you can choose to use this as your section. So I'm going to go for this one right here. So we can select the template, and then once again, we just go into the text and change this first section to About Us, and then maybe make this a little bit bigger. We can then move this up, and I'm going to delete all of this text in the middle, apart from this main text, and this is what we are going to use to write the About Us section. So you can either type this out yourself, or once again, we can use ChatGPT, and in here we can say, create me a short About Us section to use on my makeup brand Shopify store. And ChatGPT is now going to go ahead and create that right here. So we can go ahead and copy this and then go back over to Canva and we can paste this in. And then for the font, we can go up. And what font did we use earlier? I think it was the Now font. Yes, it was. So we can select this and then just bring this up. Make sure this is in the center, just like that. And then, of course, the final thing that we can do is change the background right here to fit the rest of the website. So to do this, we are going to do exactly the same thing as we did last time. We needed to remove the background for one of these sections. And what we do is, if you remember, we duplicate this, then we remove the text, remove the background. So we go up here, edit image and remove. And then we can save this image without a background to the computer. So we just go up to download, make sure we only save this second page with a transparent background. And then once that has downloaded, we can delete this page, delete the background image right here, and set the main website background color. So I'm just going to set this. Then we can go to uploads and upload the file that we just downloaded right here. Stretch this out. And we now have a beautiful About Us section. So all I would do is go in here and we can set the brand name. So whatever your brand name is going to be, we would just come in here and then I can title this, let's just say GeForce North. And then all we have to do is go up and save this, download. And once that is downloaded, we come back to Shopify, click into this slideshow, and we can upload this About Us section. Just like that, this is now going to be added. And the awesome thing about this is if we go over to the mobile view, you can see that the About Us section is going to be there. The parameters are perfect, and we don't need to set up two separate slideshows as we did before up here. The only thing that we do need to do is, of course, remove this text and this text box. So we can remove the heading on this right-hand side, remove the subheading, and then go down to Show Container on Desktop, turn this off. And we also don't want a button here. So let's go ahead and remove the button label. And just like that, we now have our About Us section. And then if we flick over to the mobile view and scroll down, we can see we have the About Us section right here. And we don't have to create separate About Us sections like we did with this slideshow at the top. So we now have this set up, and this website is really starting to come along. If we take a look at the full screen view, this is really starting to come along and look like a very professional website. So let's go ahead and save the changes that we just made so that if anything happens, then we don't lose the progress. From here, we just need to add 3 more sections to the website, and 2 of them are extremely easy. So let's go ahead and add them first. I should also mention, I'm just seeing on this left-hand side, if you have any spare image slides right here, so we just want 1 image for each of these slides. These second slides in the slideshow, just go ahead and remove both of these, and then we can continue. So the next section that we are going to add is going to be a featured collection section. So we want to add this new section, and then from here, we want to add a featured collection. So we want to add 1. We now have that added in. Then we can go down to add a new section, and we want to add another featured collection. Now, these 2 collections that we are going to add here, the first one, if we click on featured collection on this left-hand side, the top one, we want to go in here to the heading, and we are going to change this to best sellers. Okay. And then the second one, if we click on the second featured collection and go in and edit the heading, we are going to change this to new arrivals. Now, you do not have to follow these rules exactly. As an example, if you want to sell maybe a specific set of lipstick or lip gloss, or you have certain products that you would like to sell here, then you can just change the heading to be what you want to sell in this collection. However, we do not yet have these collections, so we want to go ahead and create them. To do this, we just want to back out of the store, make sure you save, and then we can go up to products, and collections. And the first collection that we are going to create is the first collection that we want to show. So for me, this is going to be best sellers. We create that right here. And then we just want to go down to the collection type, switch this to automated, and then set the tag to best sellers, just like this. Then we can go up to save, back out, and then we want to create the second collection, which in my example was new arrivals. Then we can go for the collection type, set this to automated, and we can say new arrivals. Then all we need to do to actually create and add products to these collections is go back to the products and choose which products you would like to add to these collections. So for my best sellers, I'm going to go for this bronzing body and face balm. We can click in and then go to tags right here and set this to best sellers. We can add that right there and then click on save. And you want to be adding at least 4 to each of these collections. So let's go for this liquid foundation. And then I'm going to call this best sellers, just like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and add 2 more products. So I now have my best sellers collection created. If I click back into collections, this is still updating, but I just added 4 products. And then we want to do the same for this second collection, which for me is new arrivals. So we can go into this right here, and I'm going to tag this as new arrivals. And then I'm going to choose 3 more to add. So I now have all of those tags added in. And if I go back over to my collections, you can see we have best sellers currently has 4 products. And then when new arrivals is going to fully update, we should have 4 products in here as well. Perfect. Just like that. Now, once you have created those 2 new collections, if we go back over to our online store, and then we click back into customize, what we can now do is we can scroll down and we simply have to select those collections. So we click into the best sellers option, and then over here, we can see select collection. So we click into this and then select best sellers. And now that is going to show up. Then for new arrivals, we click into this, select collection, and then we can choose the new arrivals. Perfect. The only mistake that I am seeing here is this product title is terrible. So I'm just going to actually go back and change this real quick. And perfect. That is now looking a lot better. So we can just click into these sections and of course change these from scheme 1 to scheme 6. This one as well from scheme 1 to scheme 6. And that is going to change the main background. And honestly, this in the middle doesn't look terrible. Like, I would not be crazy about changing this. However, if you do want to change these squares in the center, then all we would do is scroll a little bit further down until you see theme settings. Then we can go in, and right now this is set to theme 1, but we could try out theme 6. And that's going to change right there. We could also go in and we could try theme 7. Awesome. I actually really like the look of this, and this is how I'm going to keep this. Then the final section on the website is going to be a Why Us section. And I will show you how this will look on the store that I created earlier. It's going to look like this right here. This is the final section that we need to add to the homepage of the website. So to create this, we just want to add a new section on this left-hand side. And the section that we are going to add is this section right here called multi-column. So we want to add this in. However, this is now going to show up right at the bottom. So just grab the multi-column right here and click and drag this. And we want this just beneath the slideshow, the About Us slideshow. So we go About Us, and then this section is going to be Why Us. So we can click in, and then the first thing that we are going to change is this heading. You can keep this simple with something like Why Us. Or we could maybe even go a little bit further and say something like the difference you deserve. I quite like that. That's a lot better. Then we want to go into each of these individual columns right here, and we need to get some text for each of these. So to get the text, once again, you can either type this out, or we can take the shortcut option and we can go over here to ChatGPT. In here, I just said, create me 3 sections for my Why Us section for my makeup brand Shopify store. We can enter that in, and just like this, it's now going to give us these 3 sections. So we have eco-friendly beauty. We can copy this, go back to Shopify, and paste this into the heading. Then we can grab the description, paste this into the description, and then do the same for these other ones. So we have premium quality. We go to this next column and paste this in. Grab this second one, paste it in, go back, grab the third one, paste it in right here. And just like that, we now have these all set. The final thing that we need to do is just create an image for each of these, and this is extremely easy to do with Canva. So let's flick back to Canva, and if we just go back to the Canva homepage right here, we can go to create a design, and we just want to grab another logo. So we go for the logo section right here, and then we want to grab an element. So from this blank template, we go to elements, and then we want to grab a circle. So just search for circle up here, and we can drag and drop this in. And we want to spread this out the entire width. Maybe not all the way so it doesn't cut anything off, but almost all the way. Then we can choose the main website color. So I want to go for more of this dark pink. So let's make sure we can grab this. We just go up, colors, scheme 7, and grab this. And then in here, we can just come and paste that in. Apparently that is not the right color. I'm not sure what happened there. Okay, perfect. We now have the correct color. And then all we are going to do for each of these sections is just choose an element that fits this. So eco-friendly beauty. We can go in here and maybe search for like tree or leaf or even eco. And I like this. So let's just drop this in. Make this a little bit bigger. And then we can set the color to white. And then we just want to go ahead and save this with a transparent background. Then we can grab the second one, premium quality. So maybe I want to grab a little tiara right here. Don't even know how you spell tiara apparently. But we can grab this. Place this in the middle. And then set this to white. And then the final one is going to be inclusivity and empowerment. So for this, we can maybe type in inclusive. And then this is perfect. So we can grab this, resize this to fit the design, make sure that this is white. And just like that, we can now download this, go back to Shopify and upload these for each of these sections. So we have eco-friendly beauty. And we can just find this image. I have a lot of images on my computer now, but we just drop this in and then we can select this. Then we go to premium quality, select the image, and we can now drop in this tiara. By the way, if you are still watching at this point, congratulations. We are like at least an hour and a half into this tutorial and you're still watching. So you are ahead of 99% of other people who even try to build Shopify stores. So if you are still watching, then all I ask is that you hit that subscribe button, tap the like button, make sure you let YouTube know that you got value from this video. But we can click on done right here. And finally, we just want to remove this button label. I don't really like this in this section. So we can remove this. And then of course, we want to go to the color scheme and set this to color scheme 6. So we now have the website created right here. The only thing that we actually have to do is edit this navigation menu right here and also add a logo. So let's add and create a logo now. Just click into this header right at the top. And then over here on the right hand side, where we see the header, you can see edit your logo in theme settings. So we just click into this. And then on this left hand side, this is where we can upload our logo. Now to create the logo, you guessed where we are going to create this, no shocks, inside of Canva. And we actually already have the logo size up here. So that's perfect. We can just delete what we currently have. And then once again, Canva is going to have a bunch of designs that we can choose from in this area. So we can go in and we can search for like a makeup brand. And look at this. We have some fantastic logos that we can use. Now, I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on this. If I was actually putting this store live and I was going to go into this niche, then I would spend a lot of time. But just in this example, we can grab this. And then I'm just going to change this to say G-Force. I'm going to say North underneath. I quite like that. That's a pretty cool logo, right? And then all we would do is click on Share, download, and download this with a transparent background. And then once we have this, we can come over to Shopify right here and upload this logo. Now, sometimes the sizing might be a little bit off. You might have to go back into Canva and make this a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller, depending on how this looks. But if I just drop this in, you see that's a little bit small. We can go over here and make this bigger. So let's see if that makes a huge difference. It makes the header too big. So I am actually going to go back in here. And instead of just dragging this, I'm going to resize this design. And I'm going to make this, instead of 500 by 500, I'm going to make this a lot bigger. I'm going to make this 2000 by 2000. And then continue. And we can just resize this design once this loads up. You can see already that is a lot bigger. So let's try this out. We can do transparent background and download. Select from library. And then we can drop this in. So yeah, we can drop that in right there. And perfect. Now for the favicon, if you are unaware what a favicon is, you see in Shopify right here, next to the tab, we have this little image. This is a favicon. So you want to make the favicon the same logo as your website. So we just go down to favicon. We can drop this in and click on done. Pretty easy, right? So we now have the main bulk of the website created. And just to show, actually, there's one more thing that we need to do, which is link this button. So just click into this top section right here. And on the right-hand side, you can see button label says shop now. But right now, this doesn't link anywhere. So we just want to click into button link. And then in here, we want to link this to collections. So now what this is going to do is we can either set this to bestsellers to just take them to the bestsellers section, but we want to change this to all collections. And then I'm not going to do this because I'm confident that you already have enough from this video to save me from wasting your time explaining this. But when we set this to collections, if we go back to collections right here, if you remember, we didn't set these images. So for like mascara, nail paint, foundation, you want to set all of these. Just to give you some guidelines in this area, you want to make them 500 by 500, just like we did with these other ones. And you want to keep them in the same format. So as an example, if I was creating a mascara one, actually, let's go back. I think we still have this saved. Yeah, we have these right here. So it's very easy. We just go back into this section right here. And then for mascara, all I would do is just go to elements and look for mascara, photos, and just grab something like this. Then we would just move this over, delete, remove the background, and then we just drag this across. And this looks very professional and it's very easy to do. So we just drag this in, then we would change this to like mascara. Make this smaller, of course. Whoopsie. Just like that. And then we just drag the overlay back across. And that looks very professional. And it takes like 2 minutes to do each one. So that's what I recommend doing. Just go down. Then we would find like lip, gloss. Do the exact same for this. And just get a standard product image. Put the overlay on and the text. And then upload these for each of these areas. Very important to do this because right now, if I just go back to my store and I view this and I click this button, like you can see, it's just going to give us the product. So you definitely want to make sure that each of these has the same professional image as we created before. That's just a quick word of advice there. But aside from that, the main heavy lifting on this homepage is completely done. The only thing that we have left to do, really, on this page is to set up the legal and policy pages, add them into here, and add the rest of the navigation. So for legal pages, this is actually a lot easier than you are thinking it will be because Shopify have templates. So all we have to do is go back out to the main Shopify dashboard, then go down to settings in this bottom left corner. And then from here on this left hand side, right at the bottom, we have policies. So just click into this. We already have the privacy policy written, but for refund and return policy, we just click in and then we insert template. The only thing that you do need to change, and I'm not sure if there is one in this area. Okay, you see all of these right here that are between square brackets. Anything in between these square brackets is the information you need to enter. So we would enter a return address in right here. That's everything that we have to do for this. So we just click on publish. And this is now going to be set. Then terms of service, we go in, insert template, and then all of these right here, you would enter in the information for everything that it asks for. Then we publish. Shipping policy, we go in, and you can write your own shipping policy in right here. And if you used Zendrop, you can just go in here and say free worldwide shipping, and then we can say delivery time 11 days. Then we can click on publish right here. And the reason that we are able to offer free worldwide shipping is because the price of the shipping is also, is baked into the cost of the product, right? So we already set that up when we calculated our profit. Then finally, we would just go down and set the contact information right here. So we can go insert template. I'm definitely going to have to blur this, but you would just review this, make sure this is all right, and then click on publish. So we now have all of the legal policies created. All we now have to do is add them to the store. So to do this, we back out of this with this X in the top right corner. And then from here, we go online store, navigation. So click into navigation. Then from here, we want to go into the main menu, click into this. And from here, we first of all want to delete this catalog menu. So we just delete this and remove. And then in the main menu, this is where we are going to add some of the collections that we created earlier. So we go add menu item, and then we go to the second bar down. Don't go to the first because the name will autofill. Click in, and then we can go to collections and select, let's add best sellers first of all. We can then click on add, and that is now going to be added. So then we can go in and go collections, and I'm going to add eyes, click on add menu item, go back up, collections, face, add, menu item, collections, lips, add, and then finally, we will go for eyes, or nails, sorry, we add in nails, and we now have this menu created. I recommend actually grabbing the contact right here, and grabbing these three dots to the left, and just dragging this to the bottom, just like that. We can then click on save menu right here, and then we just back out. We can then go to the footer menu, and this is where we are going to add our policy pages. So we go into the footer menu, and then add menu item. This time, instead of going collections, we are going to add a policy. So we go policies, then we can add the privacy policy. We can add that right there. I don't recommend adding contact information if I just go to policies, because this is probably going to have your home address on it. So I wouldn't recommend it. But we do need to add the rest. So we can add a refund policy, the shipping policy, and the terms of service, just like that. And then we save the menu, back out. And now if we go over to our Shopify store once again, under themes and customize, you can see this menu has now changed, and we have all of these sections along the top. Now there are some small changes we need to make to each of these pages, but we will get there in a second. But if we go down to the bottom right here, you can see we now have the privacy policy, refund policy, and all of these pages. Now, the small changes that we need to make in this area at the top is just going to be the colors. So if I go into best sellers, you can see this is not the same color scheme. So all we have to do is click in and change the color scheme to our main website color scheme, just like this. And then we can save. And once you have done that for one of the pages, it should carry across. And now all of our pages are going to have this scheme 6. So we can go down, we can view all of our products on each of these pages. I can go to face, I can see all of the products that I am selling, and this is all set up correctly. We might also need to change a product page. If I click into the product page, we just need to change the color in this area. So we just click on the product, set this to scheme 6. Down here, set this to scheme 6. And once again, this should carry across all of the other product pages. If we just go back to face as an example, and we click into a different product, then this should carry across, and we have that all set up right there. And now the absolute final thing that we have to do on this store is set a professional domain. Now, do not skip out on this step. This is super important, and you need to have a professional domain for your site. And to do this, we just want to go to settings in this bottom left corner. Then once this area loads up, we can head into domains on this left-hand side. And then all we are going to do is click on buy new domain. In here, we enter in the domain that we would like to buy. For example, gforcenorth.com or gforcenorthbeauty.com. This is the domain that I want to buy. So I enter that in, and we can see this domain is available. So we can buy the domain right here. We then go down and enter in the payment information. And right here, we can click on buy domain and connect that up to our store. That means that somebody will be able to go to this web address right here, gforcenorthbeauty.com, rather than this horrible domain that we have that looks very unprofessional. And I would never buy from a store with this domain. I don't think you would either. So that's why it's so important to set this up. The entire store is now built and finished. So what you can do is we can come in here and we can just play around with things. We can go in and let's shop the face category right here. We can click in, and then this is the product page. So let's click on add to cart, and let's try to check out. And then in the checkout area, we can see this is all going to work, and the Shopify store is fully working. So that is how you can create a beauty and makeup store on Shopify. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy.